Previously on Breaking Point 2.
The drivers were always going to clash. That was a calculated risk. But the car had problems.
Okay, I'm afraid you're going to have to retire the car, please, Aiden. Retire the car. You're joking!
Andreo, it's every race. Do you know how I look losing easy points like this?
You know what they say? A shoddy workman always blames his tools. mate.
It's not a setup issue. The problem is...
Jackson, that was the problem with the 2022 season.
I kind of get the feeling, Devin, that you were the problem in the 2022 season here, as we're now at the Canadian Grand Prix 6 weeks later. Chapter 2. Connor Sport's maiden season continues to be marred by inconsistency, but team principal Andre O'Connor remains hopeful that their luck will start to change as the paddock heads to Montreal.
Hey boss, got a couple of minutes?
So ahead of the Canadian Grand Prix, we're now stepping into the shoes of Andreo, the team principal. So this is a very new, different kind of gameplay to what we saw in Breaking Point 1. We only really ever stepped into the shoes of the different drivers of Casper Ackerman and Aiden Jackson, whereas now we get to make some decisions playing as Andreo, the team principal. And the first one here is local media. With this being their home circuit, Stroll and Latifi have been all over local media this weekend. One particular outlet appeared bent on using our recent struggles to pump up expectations of the home drivers. They indicated that Connor Sport were easy fodder for the Canadian pair and that our drivers shouldn't put up much competition. This will affect the bonus objective in the upcoming race. So this decision we make could give us an extra mission / objective in the following race. Now, from my past experience of being a team principal in my team career mode, if this was me, Andreo, I would be going confident. Fodder, we'll show him who fodder is, alright? We'll overtake both of them. They're useless, okay? Who are they to badmouth this in the press? We've got Devon's overpromise. Devon was on a popular streamer's channel earlier this week and promised a behind-the-scenes tour of the factory for next Thursday, clashing with our scheduled team building days for the engineers. Normally, I would say we don't let Devon's flights of fancy interfere with our plans, but that video has received a lot of views. The streamer has contacted us to confirm the tour. What course of action? We've got confirm. So rescheduling the team building and letting the tour go ahead. Neutral is letting the tour go ahead, but Devon is the one that has to do it, not one of our people. And that's how I would go personally, because why should we waste an employee's time doing a tour? Devon's the one that loudmouthed it, so let him do it. And speak of the devil, he's on the phone to us.
Andreo, just going over those last-minute strategy changes you sent over.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to make it clear, whatever happens out there today, I get pit priority, yeah?
Well, we'll see how the race develops. If you need priority, you'll get it. But I can't go into the race with that on the table.
Look. We all know Jackson's not pulling his weight. Now, if you want the points, I need to make sure he's not going to get in my way. Do you get me?
Devon, we've talked about this. Give Aiden some space. It's not about you getting in the way of each other. It's about everyone pulling together, racing as a team.
Exactly, Devon.
Of course. Yeah, so, pit priority, yeah? All right, ciao.
Oh, what an arse. Right, so he wants preferential treatment no matter what happens in the race. Cool, calm. We get a little bit more context about who Andreo is in the news article. So it seems like Andreo's father had the Connor Sport brand in the world of tennis. So Andreo, his son here, is bringing the Connor Sport brand into Formula 1. His father had the Connor Sport brand in tennis. I like these little details, you know. We're really fleshing out this kind of world that we're living in Breaking Point 2. I'm liking it. And then there's some articles about the Stroll Latifi thing. And then we get an email from Casper Ackerman. Casper, it's been so long. Andreo, I just read the interview you did. Popped out of nowhere on my newsfeed. Know how you hate those things, but you're a natural. You even gave Antonio a mention. I'm sure he'd be delighted. How is the old man? Send my best. He's 90 now. Can't believe it. Time flies. That's Andreo's father. And then, as per our last chat, I'll be sending you some more Mayor highlights later today. So Casper's definitely some sort of, aid and advisor to this team, and Callie Mayer, who we know is going to be coming later on in the story. So keep an eye for the little maneuver on lap 14. You can't teach that stuff. It's sublime. So Casper is definitely going to come in later into the story to maybe try and push Mayer onto this team to, you know, get her up from F2 into F1. And then we've got a brief message from Davidoff Butler, the Lawrence Stroll figure himself here in the team, to each and every member of our illustrious team. Just wanted to wish everyone the best of luck this weekend, but I know we won't need it. Andrea tells us we're making great progress, finding solutions to mitigate the problems, etc., etc. And then we've got Linda, our operations manager, booking a flight for Andrea's father, coming in business class, of course, from Japan. So interesting they're mentioning his father twice now in the news article and the email, so I don't know whether that's going to come into play. I kind of have a bad feeling maybe he's 90 years old. Is there going to be some sort of storyline with him getting old and Andrea wanting to make him proud with Connor Sport? We don't know, but we now head on to the Canadian Grand Prix mid-race with several laps remaining. Aiden Jackson pushes on as he hopes to secure some much-needed points for Connor Sport.
Into turn 2 we go now. Butler comes out of the pit lane. Jackson is right now with him. This is dicey, Ant. Neither one of these two wants to give way.
This would have been a lot cleaner if Jackson had just let him go. He's just not giving him an inch.
They continue onwards, still wheel to wheel, almost touching there as well, as we head down the straight towards the next chicane. Nothing to separate either car, and through the chicane we go. And now Jackson sends them both off the track, and Butler over a curb. That looked nasty.
And I do believe that one of their cars is damaged here, Crofty. I think it's Butler.
Damage, Ant, but also they've lost places too.
Unbelievable and totally unnecessary as well.
Well, one damaged car, places now to make up. What a complete mess that was.
What was that? Where did he even think he was going to go?
Okay, calm yourself down. We'll look at it in the debrief later, but right now I want you to go and get those places back. Come on, let's go.
So it's only the second chapter and Aiden and Devin have come together. Quite a bit of airtime for Devin as he went into that next section and vaulted over the curbs, broke his floor probably on the sausage curves, and now we're down in P17 and have to recover. We've got two objectives here: to get to 13th place as we go down the inside of Mick Schumacher, getting very aggressive to get the elbows out, channeling the anger I'm sure Aiden is feeling at this moment in time. But because of the answers we gave with Andreo to the press, we've got a bonus objective of finishing ahead of both the Canadians of Stroll and Latifi, you know, trying to make good on that promise that will, you know, will make them fodder. And we are going to try and make Latifi fodder into the final chicane. Easy pickings on the inside, up into P15. But we've got to climb to 13th place and then higher to try and catch up to Lance Stroll to meet that bonus objective. And that will give us more reputation in the story mode kind of, you know, reputation system that you may be seeing at the end of these races. And the higher we get, the more objectives and, you know, different the story could pan out for us. So we make an easy overtake on Alexander Albon round the outside of the hairpin, just roll the car through, and now catching up to this second Williams of the afternoon, P14, fast up the Grand Prix. Big lunge down the inside of Albon. He gives us a bit of a fight through the first turn on the outside, but in the end of it, we have the better traction to go on the outside up into P13, and now catching up to Lando Norris, Guan Yu Zhou, and I'm feeling a pass at the hairpin on the inside there. The McLaren doesn't go defensive, leaves the door open, and we catch Lando napping a little bit into the hairpin, up into P12. Stroll is up the road. We've now technically got our objective for the main race to get up to 13th place again, but we want more, and we can get more as we fly past the Alfa Romeo with DRS. A lot of battery has been used, so we don't have too much left to go, but we're going to try and recover some in the corners to try and chase after Lance Stroll. Leclerc is out of the race. Surprise, surprise. Ferrari disaster here in 2022. Familiar signs as we overtake Lance Stroll. We have a little bit of a rear locking moment, but at the same time, that actually allowed us just to get the elbow out and shove Stroll off the racing line. So we're now up into P9. We've met our main objective. We've met the bonus objective, and we're now just going for the maximum result we can. Bottas being caught up behind Tsunoda on the soft compound. Bottas goes for the move here. So we're watching some of the AI have a bit of a battle. Tsunoda defends well from Bottas, and he's actually going to back Bottas up into us as we try and go round the outside of this second Alfa Romeo of the day to get up into P8. We've got the fast lap of the Grand Prix, which is also another great bonus point for us. But can we get P7 to finish off this race? Our lucky number, P7 for me personally, of course, not Aiden. But for me, playing as Aiden, I want to try and get that P7 gassing up the road in P6, maybe a bit out of reach. Especially with that rear snap of oversteer, and actually we have to go a bit defensive on Bottas to make sure he doesn't overtake us here. So maybe the tyre wear's kicking in now. Obviously the last 2 laps of this Canadian Grand Prix. Tsunoda though is there for the taking, and we tried to maybe go for a dive down the inside. I maybe could have committed to that like I did with the move on Lando, but I thought the better of it because I thought Tsunoda may have just turned into her. So let's try and keep this clean, because you of course do get a bonus for keeping the races clean and having good race etiquette as well. That will boost your reputation, etc. in this game mode. So we're going to try and keep it clean as possible. We have a bit of a messy last corner as the rear axle locks, but we do get the move done on Tsunoda, and we'll bring this home onto the last lap of this Canadian Grand Prix. We've recovered from our incident with Devin Butler to come home for P7 and the fast lap of the Grand Prix. I call that a resounding success. We've got our bonus objective, the finishing position. Chaos in Canada brings it down, but that was obviously part of the story. And then racing etiquette up.
So it's been a day of drama here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve today. But Ant, what stood out for you?
Well, it must be the Connor Sport moment between the two drivers there, banging wheels, not giving each other room on track. It was entertaining, of course, but definitely for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, we enjoyed it, certainly. And Aiden Jackson, well, he'd have enjoyed the result. He did well to recover.
He did do well to recover, but, you know, you never want to see 2 cars, if you're the team boss, seeing 2 cars hit each other. It's rule number 1, don't hit your teammate.
Given all the problems they've had this season, though, getting 1 car over the finish line, that's probably a big result for them today.
Aiden, just a heads up, we're putting the debrief back by 30 minutes.
Okay, thanks for letting me know.
Listen, while I've got you on, what happened out there today?
It wasn't my fault. Devon thinks he's the only one driving.
I don't want to dwell on it too much at the meeting, but this is not how you run a team. You know this.
Of course. It's just...
No, I don't want to hear it. We have enough problems as it is. Whatever has gone on between you two in the past, I need you to put it to bed.
Sure.
I don't want to have to talk to you like this, Aiden, and I'll be saying the same to Devon. Oh, come on now.
Sure.
See you at the debrief.
Oh, the tension is building. You know, to be honest, looking back at it, you gotta say, Aiden was a little bit at fault. He was the one diving down the inside. Obviously, I know we all love to hate Devin, but I think Aiden's a little bit culpable for what happened there in Montreal. But we move on. It's pretty clear, though, that Andrea is already getting some massive headaches now managing us two, Aiden and Devin, and that's only going to get worse and worse. But here we go, opinion, there's no such thing as home advantage. So this is an extra news article because of what we did in the race, you know, beating the 2 Canadians. So this will happen throughout the story mode. We've been told that there'll be these extra missions that we can do, and that will give us some extra little context and little bonus articles, and may even change the course of the story a little bit depending on how big those objectives are in terms of the bonus stuff. But let's look through the socials and see what everyone's thinking. So Crofty, well, if they can't bring it in the points, they bring in the drama. I mean, I brought in the points with Aiden. Come on, we got to P7. That was some very good finishing points, and even Maxime agrees, 7th place there noted. So really nice to see the social media tweets actually base off your results. So the 7th place there that I got with Aiden was actually mentioned from Maxime's tweet in this feed. And then we're back again at _aarava to say props to Jackson. That's a respectable finish for Connor Sport. Can't knock them when they're scoring points in their maiden season. The funny thing is, that actually just sounds like me. I probably would be saying something like that if we did see something like this in a race. So yeah, good tweeting at _aarava. I agree, I concur. But we now have a blast from the past. Brian Doyle, remember him from Breaking Point 1. Aiden, just thought I'd send you a cheeky hello from the sunny Barbados. Oh, nice for some. been watching you race. Nice to see some things never change, and by that I mean Butler is still a clown. Yes, Brian. Yes, he knows the score. But Brian here clearly enjoying post-retirement life, but he says, anyway, race fast, kid, and don't be a stranger. Oh, lovely to hear from Brian from the first story. We've got Andreo talking about the debrief, so let's grab a coffee and a comfort break beforehand, and then we'll have it half an hour later. And then we've got our PA giving you a message about a phone interview at 5:30 a.m. Try to rearrange because of the time difference. And a reminder that we've got an auction for Nigel Mansell's racing gloves in the next month. If you really want them, we need to discuss how high we're willing to go. I'd be mid-race at the time of the auction, so she'll have to bid for me. So my PA will try to help me maybe get Nigel Mansell's racing gloves. And I don't know, like, legit, like, if we get them in-game, is that actually a thing we could maybe get on and see in the cockpit in future gameplay, maybe? That would be pretty damn cool. But that here is then the end of Chapter 2 of Breaking Point 2, guys. If you have enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're around here, then do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 content. Things are only just starting and starting to heat up. I sense some future tension pretty damn soon in the next chapter. Till then, guys, hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.